Hello everyone, Mike Rempel from Another Set of Eyes with today's Excel Bytes blog post. Today we're going to take a look at creating and saving a custom pivot table style. It's pretty easy to do in Excel, so let's take a look. Here I have a pivot table from the data that I have on sheet 1, and I'm going to go up to Design, and I can click the down arrow here, and you can see all the various designs, and I can hover over any of them and get a live preview of how that pivot table is going to look. But let's say I want to create my own custom design. What I can do is go down to where it says New Pivot Table Style, click on that, and Excel pops up the New Pivot Table Style dialog box. The first thing you might want to do is name it. Since this is Another Set of Eyes, I'm going to call it ASOE Style 1. And now I have a whole list of items that I can customize the format for. So for example, in my pivot table I have report filter labels and report filter values. So I'm going to select report filter labels, click on format, and I'm going to go to the fill and I'm going to make it a somewhat dark gray, and then go to font. Maybe make it a bold font with a white lettering there and say OK. And then my values for that, I'm just going to format as being bold and in black and say OK. Now notice anything that I custom format, Excel will put in bold here. And if it can, will show a preview of what that is over here. So the next thing I'm going to do is the header row. And with the header row, I'm going to format the fill there as a dark brown fill. And again, I'm going to use a white bold lettering for that. And now you can see Excel kind of shows what that's going to look like. On my first row stripe, I'm going to format that so that the fill is in this light color here. I'll say OK. And maybe the last thing I'm going to do is go down to the grand total row, and I'm going to format that with a black fill and bold and white lettering. And I'll say OK and OK. So now when I click my down arrow here, notice up in custom, my first one that's available is the one I've just created. And as I hover over that, you can see it says ASOE Style 1. So I can select that. And now Excel has changed the styling of my pivot table to that format. And notice it shows up as the first item there in the pivot table styles because I have a pivot table that has that as selected. So now if I go to my data here and I'm going to insert another pivot table, I'm going to put it on an existing worksheet, and the location is going to be here right next to the one that I had previously created, and I'll say OK. And now I'm just going to do something simple by maybe taking the territories and the sales team and put them in the rows and the extended values into the columns. I'll close that. And now if I want to format this one as I have the previous pivot table, I'll just go up into Design, click the down arrow, and up into Custom is the design ASOE Style 1. I can choose that. I can go ahead and ban the rows. And now I've created a style that I can create all my pivot tables in. This might be one that's in the theme colors of my company, or just something that I like to have my pivot table look because it's a good design and I want to use it for all my pivot tables. And there you have it. I hope you like what you see. If you do like what you see here, please take a minute to share this post on your favorite social network. I can be found on Facebook, Google+, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So I hope you enjoy this. If you'd like to see more, please feel free to stop by my website, excel-bytes.com, and I hope you subscribe. So have a great day and happy excelling.